Hello, everyone. This is Amy Dean. It is so nice to see you again. It's been a good month or so since I've been live with you. Lots of fun stuff going on behind the scenes, but I just want to say hello and see where you are in the world. So please do let me know in the comments and just let me know your name and of course where you are and naturally any questions that you have about today's topic, which is tapping into gratitude for a fulfilling and meaningful life. I'm very excited. Now that we're in November, we are going to spend the whole month talking about gratitude, and there is a gratitude journal as well that I will make a note of towards the end of our time together. And that way you can get on my email list if you're not already on there to get that complimentary copy so that you are good to go. So, as everyone is coming on here, I just want to welcome you to this talk. And then, just also so you know, we will be doing an experimental activity or experiential activity rather. So we're going to be going inward. So if you are driving, if you are somewhere where you cannot close your eyes, please do take this time or take the time later in order to do that. And then, of course, come back to it. But if you are in a safe place, then you are free to do the exercise, just in a little bit once we get there. But first, I just want to welcome everyone who's new, who's just joined our beautiful community. I want to just give you a little bit of a background of who I am and what I do. So, I am a licensed marriage family therapist, also a certified clinical trauma therapist, but I'm also an ascension coach. So, I like to bridge psychology and spirituality together. And what I do is I help driven, empathic women struggling with self criticism, people pleasing, perfectionism, that real sense of not enoughness to help these women heal their inner child wounds so they can live a spiritually awakened life. So if that's you, you're in the right place. If you don't know if that's you, then let me know if you have any questions about that. But for a lot of women, there's this sense of having to take on so much in order to prove yourself, in order to be successful. And, in the work that I do, not only do we heal the trauma that you might be facing, but also to help you get in touch with that little inner child inside, which everyone has one, to do the deep healing work around those wounds that sometimes are trauma related and other times are just adverse life situations that have happened. So for today's topic, and by the way, I will be just periodically checking the chat. So if any questions arise, I'm more than happy to answer any questions. So please do let me know. And for those of you who are watching this recording, you are more than welcome as well to add questions, and I will absolutely get back to you. I will get back to you, or my assistant will get back to you. So let's talk about gratitude. And let's talk about the different ways that gratitude can help us live a truly meaningful life. And first, maybe let's talk about what gratitude is specifically. So I know often we think of gratitude as kind of an affirmation, right? A positive way of looking at our life that helps us with our well being. So that's one way of looking at gratitude. But I want to share that gratitude is so much more than that. Gratitude is not just in the power of our words and in our affirmation about what matters to us, but it's also in the difficult things that we're facing and finding gratitude in those things as well. And I was just listening to an amazing audiobook earlier. I'm gonna have to get the title for you in the comments. Let me know if you're interested. But it is about time and productivity and understanding, how we use our time and how it's related to the knowing that we don't have a lot of time on this earth as human beings. And what was really interesting about this book is that, it was this idea that we're always so busy and we're trying to do so much that we lose track. Right, we lose track of really what matters. And then we get angry, right? When we are inconvenienced or when things don't go as planned. And when that happens, right, when we are overwhelmed and burnt out by life, we forget that this is just a miracle in itself. We forget that life is a miracle. And if we can bring gratitude to our consciousness that allows this to be, to our spacious awareness of being present and knowing that without who we really are, right? Without our essence, without our conscious awareness, we wouldn't be able to even have these difficult experiences or even the positive experiences. And so it's important to look at it from both ends because it can be so easy to just kind of force gratitude, right? When you're going through a hard time. Or, it can be so easy to just go through the motions of, oh, I'm so grateful that I have my family or I have my job, but not really feel the true feelings of gratitude. And that is incredibly important, is to feel what is arising within you. So, with that being said, I want to share a specific way of moving through the gratitude experience that is not dependent on your life situation. So this is going to be different for you, I would imagine. It's a completely different approach, something that came to me intuitively. So before we go into that, and that would be that inner wisdom practice where you're going to have your eyes closed. But before we even do that, I want to talk about what or more, more so the powers of gratitude and why we want to be grateful. So number 1, the more we bring gratitude into our daily life, again, not as a forced, affirmation, but more of a way of living, then we're creating resilience from trauma and other difficult life experiences. It also increases our self-awareness, which if you're in this group, you care about your spiritual awakening, right? And so we need self-awareness to awaken spiritually. Gratitude helps us relieve stress and tension as well, because then we are just opening our perspective and we're coming closer and closer to the truth of our higher self. And it can also be an amazing tool for anxiety or depression if you're suffering with either and or both. And it can help you get out of your head and into your heart, which can open your heart chakra and can, of course, pave the way for more love, peace, and joy to come from within. It also can help you with improved relationships because the more, I'm sure you can imagine, the more grateful you feel for the people in your life, the better you're going to just feel overall, right? You're going to have better communication, better boundary setting. There's going to be a lot of positive effects from that. And then, of course, more compassion for yourself and others. That's super important as well. So I'd love to share just, kind of an interesting fact here about gratitude. It only takes about 8 weeks or 2 months of everyday gratitude practice to start seeing changes in your life. Now, that is not a long time. So it improves your mood within just 2 months. And then over time, of course, it creates a more permanent thinking pattern change in your brain. And of course, as I mentioned, because gratitude can help us with self compassion and self awareness, we naturally develop more empathy and compassion for others too. So, this is in the long term, right? But in the short term, it improves your mood. It can help lessen or relieve anxiety and depression. And so, just a few weeks. So, I'm sure you can imagine if you spend just a few minutes every single day, because I know you're busy, I know you have a lot on your plate. If you can just spend a few minutes every day on gratitude, you're going to notice a huge shift in your energy, in your mood, and just how you feel overall. And so, with that, there is this practice that I outline in the gratitude journal that is a complimentary journal for you. And I mentioned at the beginning, you might not have heard that if you're joining us later here in the recording, but or here live right now with me. But if you basically, let me see, actually, if you're on my email list, you absolutely will have access to that journal. I think it's coming out in a week or so on the email list. If you have not been on my email list or you're not sure, then let me know and I can send you the information for that, and then it will come right to your inbox. So in the meantime, though, let's practice this together. So again, find a comfortable place. If you're somewhere where you can just allow yourself to unwind, allow yourself to feel settled in the space you're in. And I just invite you to close your eyes for a few minutes here. We're just going to spend just a little bit of time with this and just focusing on your breath. And I like to place my hand here. This is my connection to my higher self. I remind myself to be fully present and in tune with my body. And so it's completely up to you on if that makes sense for you as well. but just paying attention to your life giving breath right now. It's just incredible in this moment that you are breathing and that you're sitting here right now in this present moment. And so just notice there's likely thoughts going on in your head, there's likely emotions in the background. And I just invite you to come back to this present moment breath as best you can. And just noticing how it feels to just be grateful without words right now around your body and feeling into that sense of spaciousness within. And as you're just noticing, right, you might just maybe plant your feet a little bit more firmly on the ground if that's possible, just to help with any ruminating thoughts that are taking over. But what is most important here is just to come back to any sounds, to any sensations with a mindful witness perspective. In other words, not judging, not trying to change your experience, and not trying to fix it right now. Just giving yourself some grace. Right? You are enough in this moment. You are always enough. There's nothing you need to do or prove in this moment. So give yourself that if you can. Good. And however you're feeling is exactly how you're supposed to be feeling. And I'm going to guide you here through this gratitude practice in a moment. So, what I'd like you to do first, just keep your eyes closed if you can for a moment, because when you open your eyes in just a moment or two, I'm going to have you ask or kind of pose the question: what beauty is waiting for me to discover it? So, take your time, open your eyes, and just ask yourself, what beauty is waiting for me to discover it? I'm going to just post it up here. Let me see if it'll allow me to do that. Just look outside, wherever you are. If you're in your room, just notice the first thing that your eyes land on. Allow that to be that first response in your body without changing it. And or look around the room and see what beauty is waiting for me to discover it. Good. And just see how that feels. What beauty is waiting for me to discover it? And I posted that on the screen in case you forget. You're just going to keep repeating that to yourself if you don't notice anything, but just be really gentle with yourself right now. Because your mind is going to naturally try to answer this in words, and that's truly fine. But I just invite you to look out of your eyes as the loving awareness that you are. Maybe it's just, softening your breath a little. What beauty is waiting for me to discover it right now? In this room, in this space, things I don't typically look at or pay attention to. And just take some time with this. And now I just invite you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, almost like we're resetting for a moment. Because now I'm going to invite you to choose something in particular in the room you're in. And in a moment, once you open your eyes, you're going to choose something boring or mundane. Maybe something we didn't just look at or focus on a moment ago. And this boring or mundane item, or let's say, it could be a pen, it could be anything, in the room or the space you're in. Could be a stack of papers if you're in your office. And so just allow your mind to just fixate on whatever you might consider boring or mundane. Close or opening your eyes, looking at that one item and just honing in on it, breathing as the loving, compassionate being that you are, and just asking out loud or to yourself, what beauty is waiting for me to discover it? And again, that's what beauty is waiting for me to discover it. Notice any feeling sensations, any emotions, any thoughts that come up that try to fix it or figure it out. Just let it all go. Allow yourself to become heart centered in this moment. And if it helps, if you are happen to get stuck on this, you might ask yourself, if I were seeing through the eyes of my higher self, how would I see this object? So that's if I was seeing, and I'll write this down as well and have it up here. If I was seeing through the eyes of my higher self, how would I view this object? And just be, just notice. Just become curious and open and just willing to see the world differently and allow that sense of gratitude to come naturally as it can't be forced. And if you are getting stuck, if for any reason those thoughts will not let go of you and there's just a lot going on inside, then I just encourage you to visualize someone you love very dearly and let yourself feel appreciation for them, maybe smiling and imagining that they're here in your presence. And as you're doing that, you can just almost like you're taking that love that you're feeling for this person and you're just transitioning it towards the object before you, or objects if you're looking around the room now and testing this out just to see. And again, that's if I was seeing through the eyes of my higher self, how would I view this object or other objects around me? And just take your time. I'm going to give you another moment or so just to feel that out. Good. And just whatever your experience is, just know it's exactly what you need right now. And then when that feels complete, just share in the chat what your experience is and what you're feeling as a result of this. And please let me know in the comments if you would like to have a copy of this journal. It's complimentary, it's absolutely free, and there are other elements in this journal, such as a gratitude tracker and some more prompts to help you journal and see the world around you with true beauty, with true gratitude. And the more you practice, the more you're going to find that you are connecting as your higher self. And this gratitude will feel more and more natural over time. And so, with that being said, I just want to, of course, check in, see if there's any questions, and feel free to let me know in the chat there if any questions arise. And I can always answer them later too if you think of something. And then I'm going to post this here. This is my website to learn more, and then you can get set up with this gratitude journal there. Let's see. So you just have to click. Let me see if I can get this up on the screen just like I did before. Okay, perfect. So you should see my website here. And this website gives you a lot of wonderful information in my blog, but you can also subscribe to the mailing list there. Not only will you receive that gratitude journal in the next week, but there's also a spiritual awakening guidebook. If you don't have that already, that will come to your inbox right away. And also, if you want to continue learning about ways to deepen your spiritual growth, then please do let me know. Because for those of you who are 100% dedicated to your spiritual growth and you're really ready to step into your spiritual evolution, check out the Awaken Living community on this website. And this is for driven, empathic women who really want to heal those inner child wounds that are keeping them from living an authentic, purposeful, and meaningful life. So check it out, see if it might be a good fit for you. And I'm happy to jump on a call to answer any questions if you're ready to continue your spiritual journey in a much deeper and more profoundly transformational way. This is one way of looking at it is you're not meant to do this alone. You are not meant to awaken alone, and you are not meant to go through these hardships that you might be facing in your life right now alone. And so if you need anything, if you have any questions, I do offer a free 15-minute call to all of our members here. So please do let me know, and I'd be happy to help. Please also leave comments, questions, and I guess that's it. I don't see any questions right now, but if they do pop up, I will be glad to answer them. But in the meantime, I just want to thank you so much for enduring this practice. I know sometimes we have to just kind of move through the layers of mind until we can get to our soul's essence. But just know that the more that you come to these lives, which right now they are every other week on Fridays, and I'm also on Insight Timer for those of you who are not aware of that. It is a meditation app. You can download it on the App Store or Google Play. And, if you want to get in touch with me, then you can, but you'll have to be on my email list to learn about those. So definitely set that up if you're not there. And I just look forward to connecting with you soon. So take good care of yourself. Let me know how your gratitude practice goes as you continue to do this daily. And I am looking forward to hearing what you think. All right. Namaste to you. Take excellent care of yourself. And I will see you in 2 weeks where we continue this gratitude journey. All right. See you then. Bye bye.